God says, a powerful billionaire wants you and only you. When you hear the reason, your heart will tremble, and your soul will awaken in ways it never has before. This isn't a story of riches or fame, not one of earthly kingdoms or temporary crowns. This is about the Creator of all things, the one who shaped the skies, whispered stars into place, and crafted oceans with his breath. The one whose hands molded mountains and lifted valleys now stretches those same hands toward you, softly, gently, lovingly, because he chooses you. Not because of what you've done or failed to do, but because of who you are to him. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not invisible to the one who sees all. Type 1111 if you trust in God. Even before you took your first breath, God had written your name on his heart. Before the sun greeted the morning sky and before the flowers bloomed in spring, he had already chosen you to be loved, to be seen, to be rescued, and to walk beside him. He is not distant. He is not hiding. He is close, near enough to feel your tears, strong enough to carry your burdens, and gentle enough to heal your brokenness. The world may chase after riches, but the richest of all, the Lord of Lords, is chasing after you. The beauty of this message isn't in how loud it sounds, but in how quietly it enters your soul, finding the deepest, most hidden parts of you that long to be known, understood, and embraced. That longing you feel, the ache when you're alone, the whisper in the silence, the stirring when life feels heavy, is the voice of God calling you back to him. He isn't looking for perfection, success, or status. He's looking for your heart. He wants the real you, even the parts you try to hide from everyone else. The one who owns everything still says, I want you. There is something indescribably powerful about being chosen, not for what you have or what you can offer, but simply because you matter. And you do. To him, your tears matter. Your joy matters. Your journey matters. You are not one among many. You are the one he leaves the 99 for. He's not watching from afar. He is in the middle of your chaos, sitting beside you in the storm, whispering hope when the noise gets too loud. This isn't just about finding peace, it's about being held by the one who is peace. Even in your weakness, he sees worth. Even in your failures, he sees future. Even in your distance, he reaches further. The world will tell you that love is earned, that value comes from effort, and that you must prove yourself. But God's love is not like that. His love flows like a river, not waiting for your permission, not asking for your resume, not concerned with your history. It just moves, strong, constant, unwavering, because he is love. And that love is now knocking on the door of your heart. Type Amen if you believe. There will be days when you feel forgotten by everyone. Days when your prayers feel like whispers into a void, when your heart aches for answers and your hands tremble with uncertainty. But those are the days God leans in closest. In the silence, he sings over you. In the stillness, he wraps his arms around you. You might not feel it, but he's there. Always has been. Always will be. The same God who painted the galaxies thinks about you more times a day than there are grains of sand. That's not poetic exaggeration. That's the truth of his love. He wants to trade your burdens for peace, your guilt for grace, your fear for courage. He wants to walk beside you when the world turns away. He wants to be the steady anchor when everything feels like it's drifting. You don't have to chase him down. You don't have to earn his presence. He is already here, whispering in your ear, "You are mine. I love you. I've always loved you." There's no expiration on his mercy, no limit to his patience, and no end to his faithfulness. Right now, you might be carrying wounds you never talk about, memories that sting, regrets that linger, and questions that keep you up at night. But God sees all of that and still says, "Come to me." He's not waiting for you to clean up first. He wants you just as you are. Because that's what love does. It enters the mess, steps into the dark, and brings light. Not to condemn, but to restore. Not to shame, but to heal. His timing is not rushed, and his plans are not small. What you think is a delay might just be divine preparation. What feels like rejection might be redirection. When doors close, it's not always the end. It might be God's way of protecting your heart and guiding you towards something greater. Even when you can't see it, He's working behind the scenes, aligning moments, shifting hearts, preparing blessings that have your name written on them. God hasn't changed His mind about you. Others may walk away, but He never will. You are still the one He wants. You are still the one He's calling. You are still the one He longs to hold. No matter where you've been or what you've done, nothing can separate you from the love He has for you. Not your doubts. Not your past. Not your brokenness. His grace is bigger. His love is deeper. His arms are open wider than you think. This isn't about the kind of riches that fade or rust. It's about the kind of treasure that lasts forever, a treasure found in knowing how deeply you are loved by God, and how completely you are wanted by Jesus Christ. Type 222 if you believe God has a plan for your life. A 7-second brainwave ritual uncovered from sealed records and hidden in CIA files is transforming financial lives. It activates a forgotten abundance channel in the brain, leading to new financial opportunities and cleared debts. Click the link in the comments below before it disappears. In a world filled with noise and constant movement, it can be hard to believe that someone as mighty as the Creator of heaven and earth would stop everything just to focus on you. But that is exactly what He does. When your heart is heavy and your strength is gone, He doesn't look away. He doesn't move on to someone more qualified or more perfect. He looks at you and says, "You are mine, and I'm not letting go." This isn't just comfort, it's truth. Truth that anchors your soul in the darkest storms and lifts you when life tries to drag you down. You may not understand why you've walked through pain, or why you've cried prayers that haven't yet been answered, but God sees what you cannot. He knows every hidden tear, every whispered prayer, and every moment when you've chosen faith even when your heart was breaking. He hasn't turned His back on you. In fact, He's been walking right beside you, sometimes carrying you when you didn't even realize it. His love doesn't waver when you fall. His grace doesn't disappear when you doubt. He remains faithful, even when you feel like giving up. When Jesus walked this earth, He didn't spend time with the proud, the rich, or the perfect. He sat with the broken, touched the outcasts, and healed the wounded. He looked into the eyes of the forgotten and gave them hope. That same Jesus is looking at you now with eyes full of compassion, with arms open wide, ready to hold you close and whisper, "You are not too far gone. You are not beyond my love." This isn't a story from the past. It's your story, right now, unfolding with every breath you take and every step you choose to walk in faith. Sometimes life can make you feel like you're not enough. Like you're too flawed, too tired, too lost. But those are the lies that steal your peace. God doesn't measure your worth by your mistakes or your status. He sees your heart. He sees the way you keep going, even when it's hard. He sees your desire to love, to heal, to grow, and to find hope again. And He honors that. In a world that demands perfection, He embraces your imperfections. In a world that turns away from pain, He enters into yours and stays until the healing begins. Type 555 if you trust Jesus to lead you forward. You are not just another person in the crowd. You are the one Jesus died for, the one God calls by name, the one He watches over day and night. When you think no one sees you, He does. When you feel forgotten, He remembers. When you feel like you're sinking, He reaches down and lifts you up, not because you've earned it, but because He delights in loving you. That kind of love is rare. That kind of love never ends. It doesn't run dry. It doesn't hold back. And it never lets go. The world may chase after power and glory, but God's kingdom is different. In His kingdom, the weak are lifted, the broken are healed, and the lost are found. You are not disqualified from His love because of what you've done. You are invited into it. Welcomed. Embraced. Celebrated. No sin is too heavy, no failure too great, no distance too far. God's arms stretch further than your shame, and His mercy runs deeper than your past. There is nothing about you that makes Him turn away. In fact, the very things you think disqualify you are the things He longs to heal and redeem. He is not in a hurry. He is not impatient with your process. He walks at your pace, sits with you in the quiet, and speaks peace over your chaos. You don't have to strive or perform. You only have to rest in His presence and know that you are loved. Truly, deeply, and without condition. That is the miracle. That is the treasure. To be loved by the one who knows you completely and still says, "You are enough for me." You were created with purpose, on purpose, and for a reason greater than you can imagine. God didn't make a mistake when He formed you. He didn't mess up when He gave you your voice, your story, your heart. There is beauty in your journey, even the messy parts. There is glory in your scars, because they remind you that healing is real and redemption is possible. The same God who raised Jesus from the grave lives in you, breathes in you, and works through you. You are not powerless. You are not forgotten. You are a child of the King. Let this message stay with you when the world gets loud and your heart gets weary. Let it remind you that you are chosen, loved, and wanted by the one who holds eternity in His hands. And He is never too busy, never too distant, never too tired to care for you. Every moment matters to Him. Every breath is a chance to return to His love. You don't have to earn His attention, you already have it. You don't have to win his approval, you already have his heart. It's the kind of love that wraps itself around your heart and stays, even when you feel unworthy, even when life feels broken. God's eyes are on you, not to judge, but to guide, to guard, and to gently pull you back into his arms. He has not turned away from you, not for a second. You are still the one he desires to walk with, to speak to, and to bless in ways you never expected. Type 1212 if you walk by faith and not by sight. There's something powerful that happens when you realize that God doesn't need anything from you, yet he still chooses to want you. Not the version of you that pretends to be strong, but the real you, the one that's tired, hurting, unsure, maybe even questioning. God isn't intimidated by your doubts or turned away by your struggles. He meets you in them, sits beside you, and patiently waits for you to remember who you are to him. You are not forgotten. You are not abandoned. You are not a mistake. You are loved by the one who holds the stars in place. Using a simple 7-second brain wave ritual, once classified and hidden in CIA files, can unlock wealth, freedom, and success already inside you. This discovery is helping thousands step into abundance, and God has led you here for a reason. Click the link in the description and comments below to awaken this money magnet frequency today. When everything around you feels uncertain and people let you down, God's voice still speaks clearly, saying, "You are mine." That quiet assurance doesn't depend on your performance. It doesn't rise and fall with your emotions. It stands firm through the chaos, a steady voice reminding you that his love doesn't change, his promises don't fail, and his grace will carry you through every valley and over every mountain. He is not waiting on the other side of your struggle. He is in it with you, walking through the fire, holding you through the storm, and fighting for your heart. There are moments in life when you feel completely unseen, like your pain is too deep to explain or your prayers are too quiet to be heard. But in those very moments, God draws closer. He doesn't need loud words to understand you. He already knows every thought, every fear, every unspoken need. And still, he stays. Still, he calls you. Still, he reaches out with kindness that softens the hardest days and strength that lifts the heaviest burdens. You are not too far gone. You are not beyond hope. You are held. Type yes to affirm that God's love never leaves you. Some days feel like you're just surviving. Like you're putting on a brave face while carrying invisible wounds. But God sees what no one else sees. He notices the battles you fight in silence, the way you choose love when it's hard, the way you keep showing up even when you're tired. And he honors that. He surrounds you with grace that fills the empty places and speaks life into the parts of you that feel worn down. He doesn't rush your healing or demand perfection. He simply invites you to rest in his love. Even if your story is marked by broken chapters, that doesn't mean it ends in defeat. God specializes in turning ashes into beauty. He rewrites stories, not by erasing the pain, but by using it to reveal his goodness. What hurt you will not define you. What broke you will not ruin you. In God's hands, every wound becomes a testimony, every scar becomes a sign of survival, and every fall becomes a place where his mercy lifted you. You may have been shattered, but you're not destroyed. You are still being restored. There is no shame in feeling weak. There is no guilt in needing help. You were never meant to carry life alone. God wants you to lean on Him, not because He thinks you're incapable, but because He knows how heavy it all can be. He knows the weight of grief, the sting of rejection, the ache of waiting. He knows because Jesus walked it. And now He walks with you, not above you, not behind you, but right beside you, hand in hand, heart to heart. When you've run out of words to pray, when your faith feels small, and your hope feels thin, remember this: God is not measuring your strength. He's holding your heart. He's not looking for you to have it all together. He's looking to be invited in. And once He's in, everything begins to change. Not always instantly. Not always the way you expect. But always with purpose. Always with love. Always with your good in mind. You may not feel like you're making progress, but every time you choose to trust instead of fear, every time you lift your eyes instead of giving in, every time you speak truth over lies, you are growing. You are moving forward, even if it's slow. God is not disappointed in your pace. He is proud of your heart that keeps trying. Proud of the way you cling to Him when everything else falls apart. He delights in you, not because you're perfect, but because you are His. You are not walking through this life without help. You are not facing the unknown without direction. You are covered by grace, held by mercy, and surrounded by favor. God's plans for you are still alive. His promises are still true. His faithfulness is still unshaken. He hasn't given up on your dreams. He hasn't forgotten your prayers. He hasn't abandoned your purpose. He is still writing your story, and the best pages are yet to be turned. Let this be a moment where you stop striving and start receiving. Let this be the place where your heart remembers that you were never meant to carry it all alone. God is your refuge, your hiding place, your strength when you are weak. And He's not far off, He's here, right now, inviting you to lean in, to let go, and to trust that He knows exactly what you need. There is divine intention behind every second of your life, and right now, God is drawing you closer with a soft but powerful reminder: you are seen, you are wanted, and you are deeply loved. His eyes have never left you, not even for a breath, and His heart still beats with affection for you, even on your hardest days. Type 1919 to receive miracles in your life starting today. The world often teaches us to be strong, to keep going no matter what, to hide our pain behind smiles and keep silent about the things we don't know how to fix. But God invites you into something far more beautiful, something freeing. He wants you to bring the tears you've held back, the worries you've buried, the dreams you've given up on, and lay them gently in His hands. You were never meant to carry it all. You were never asked to figure everything out on your own. Your Father in heaven is not distant or disinterested. He is present, involved, and passionately pursuing your heart. He knows when your strength fades, and He sees when your courage begins to crack. And in those moments, when you feel like you have nothing left, He offers you something eternal: His peace, His presence, and His promise that you are not alone. The world's love is often conditional, based on behavior, performance, or popularity. But God's love isn't like that. His love is steady when yours wavers. His love holds you even when you push him away. His love sees your faults and still chooses you, without hesitation. A powerful 7-second morning ritual, once hidden in CIA files, is resurfacing, and people are already seeing fast financial breakthroughs. It takes only seconds, yet activates a dormant wealth center in the brain most people never access. Click the link in the description and comments now. Access it before it disappears. Sometimes you may wonder why your prayers seem unanswered, or why certain doors remain shut. But God's silence is never a sign of his absence. Often, it's in the waiting that he is working the most. He's not delaying to punish you. He's preparing things for your good. What seems like a closed door is sometimes protection. What feels like a delay may actually be divine timing. God sees the full picture when you can only see one piece. He's not just writing your story, he's shaping it with love, wisdom, and detail beyond your understanding. In the quiet places where no one sees your effort, God is there. He watches how you keep showing up when no one thanks you. He sees the way you care for others, even while your own heart is hurting. He knows when you're tired of pretending, when you long for rest but still keep going. And he treasures every moment of your faithfulness. He blesses what others overlook. You are not invisible to him. You never were. Type 666 if you trust Jesus with everything you're facing. There's something beautiful about the way God loves the humble, the overlooked, the broken-hearted. Jesus didn't come for those who had it all together, he came for the weary, the lost, the hurting. And he hasn't changed. He still comes for you, wherever you are, whether you're full of faith or barely holding on. He doesn't demand that you rise before he reaches out. He kneels where you are and offers to lift you up. He doesn't shout commands from a distance, he whispers comfort right beside you. And in that whisper, there is healing. Not the kind that erases every scar, but the kind that turns wounds into places of strength. God isn't afraid of your mess. He walks right into it with you. He sits beside your pain. He cries with you. He waits with you. And slowly, patiently, he brings life where things once felt dead. He gives peace that doesn't make sense in the middle of chaos. He brings laughter back where sorrow lived. He restores what felt too far gone. You may have lost people. You may have lost confidence. You may have even lost your way. But you have not lost your worth. God never stopped seeing your value. The pain you walked through did not reduce your beauty. The failures you experienced did not cancel your purpose. And the battles you face do not mean God has changed his mind about you. You are still his. Still chosen. Still called. Still deeply loved. Sometimes it takes walking through the hardest storms to finally hear God clearly. When the world grows quiet and distractions fall away, you begin to sense his nearness in a new way. You start to notice the little things, the gentle reminders that he's with you. A sunrise that breaks through the darkness. A song that speaks to your soul. A moment of unexpected kindness. These are not coincidences. They are signs that God is still writing goodness into your days. Even when you feel empty, God is still pouring into you. Even when your faith feels weak, He is strong on your behalf. You don't need to pretend for Him. You don't need to explain every tear. He already knows. And He doesn't turn away. He leans in closer. He wraps you in love that cannot be earned and refuses to be lost. His grace is new every morning, not because you asked perfectly, but because He's just that good. You don't need to climb to God, He has already come down to you through Jesus. That's what love does. It moves toward you. It doesn't wait for you to be worthy. It calls you worthy already. Right now, you may feel like life is asking more than you can give, but you are not giving from an empty well. You have access to living water, peace that doesn't dry up, strength that doesn't run out, love that never leaves. So pause. Breathe. You don't have to figure everything out. You don't have to fix every broken piece. God is not asking you to have all the answers. He's simply asking you to trust Him one more time. To take one more step. To let Him be the one who carries what you can't. And He will. Not just for a moment, but for as long as you need Him. He's in it with you, and He's not leaving. No matter what you've been through, no matter how far you feel, God is closer than your breath, waiting not with judgment but with open arms, ready to remind you that you are never alone. Even when others walk away, even when life feels like a series of unanswered questions, He stays. Type 2323 if you agree that God is always near. There is something beautiful that happens when you surrender, not as a sign of defeat, but as an invitation to be held. Life can harden our hearts, fill our minds with fear, and make us believe that we have to be strong on our own. But that's not how God designed you. He didn't create you to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. He created you to lean on Him, to rest in His strength, and to find peace that isn't based on circumstances. The world says you need to keep moving, keep proving, keep pushing, but God says, be still, and let me be your peace. In the quiet, He speaks. In the stillness, He heals. And in your waiting, He is working. There is no moment wasted in His hands. Every season of delay, every tear shed in silence, every hope that seems buried, He gathers them all and uses them for your good. He is a God of restoration. What you thought was lost forever, He can bring back. What you thought was broken beyond repair, He can mend. What you thought was over, He can begin again. Sometimes healing doesn't look like instant change. Sometimes it looks like being able to breathe a little easier today than you did yesterday. Sometimes it's having the strength to take one more step when you thought you couldn't move at all. Don't measure your progress by the expectations of others. God sees your heart. He sees your quiet bravery. And He is proud of how far you've come. Even if no one else says it, He is whispering, "Well done, my child. Keep going, I am with you." A simple but powerful 7-second at-home ritual, it's hidden in CIA files for years, is now changing lives rapidly. Backed by neuroscience research, it can begin shifting your financial direction in just days. Click the link in the description and comments now and step into abundance today. You may not see the full picture yet, but you're not walking blindly. God is lighting your path, even if it's just one step at a time. He knows where you're headed, and He knows how to get you there. His timing is not always your timing, but it is always perfect. What feels like a delay is often His way of protecting, teaching, and shaping you into who you're meant to be. Don't let the waiting make you doubt. Let it be the place where your faith grows roots. Type Amen if you believe God is guiding your steps right now. When you feel tired of being strong, He becomes your strength. When you feel like no one understands, He becomes your comfort. When you feel like everything is falling apart, He becomes your solid ground. You were never meant to figure this all out on your own. That's why His Spirit lives within you, to guide you, encourage you, and remind you of who you are. You are not weak for needing Him. You are wise for leaning on Him. He delights in every moment you turn to Him, even if all you have is a whisper. Even if all you can offer is a tear. Even if all you manage is a quiet, "Help me, God." Those prayers matter. They are never too small. They rise to heaven and touch the heart of the Father who never turns away. His ears are always open. His hands are always extended. His heart is always for you. Sometimes the battles we face aren't seen by others. They're the silent struggles we carry inside. The grief we don't talk about. The fear we don't voice. The dreams we've stopped believing in. But God sees the things hidden behind your smile. And He loves you right there. He doesn't need you to be okay before He steps in. He steps in while it's messy. He steps in while it's painful. And He brings beauty, not in spite of the mess, but right in the middle of it. What feels like the end to you might be the beginning to Him. You might be standing in front of a wall, but He sees the open door that's just around the corner. You might think it's over, but He sees the miracle that's still coming. Nothing is wasted in His hands. No broken piece, no missed opportunity, no season of loss. He uses it all. And what the enemy meant for harm, He turns around and uses for good. You may feel like your heart has been shattered into pieces. But in God's hands, those pieces become something new. Something stronger. Something even more beautiful than before. He is the master of mending broken things. He doesn't just patch up your heart, He makes it whole. He doesn't just restore your hope, He breathes new life into it. His love is not temporary or fragile. It is strong enough to carry you through the darkest night, and gentle enough to wipe every tear. And even when you fall short, even when you take a wrong turn or doubt His plan, His love never wavers. He doesn't abandon you. He doesn't throw up His hands in frustration. He draws closer. He walks with you. He gently leads you back with kindness, not condemnation. That is who He is. Always loving. Always reaching. Always waiting with open arms. You don't have to earn His love. You don't have to prove yourself to be worthy. You already are. Because you are His. You are chosen. You are known. And nothing you face can ever change that truth. So don't give up. Don't let go. The story isn't finished yet. There is more ahead, more healing, more hope, more joy, more miracles. The best is not behind you. With God, it's always still to come. Not because you're perfect. Not because you've earned it. But because you are His. No one else may see how hard it's been, but He does. And He's not standing far away. He's right here, closer than you think, reaching out with love deeper than you've ever known. Type 2020 to claim miracles over your life and your family. You were not made to walk through the darkness alone. There is a light that never goes out, and it's found in the heart of your Savior. When everything else fades, when promises are broken and trust is shattered, His faithfulness remains. He does not change with seasons. He does not shift with emotions. He is the same yesterday, today, and forever, and His love for you is constant. It doesn't matter how long you've wandered or how far you've drifted. Every step you've taken, He's been walking right beside you, waiting for the moment you look up and remember He's still here. Life will test you. People will disappoint you. Your plans may fall apart. But none of that means you've been left behind. In fact, some of the greatest miracles begin in the most uncertain moments. When things fall apart, sometimes it's so God can build something stronger in its place. The tears you cried in secret, the prayers you whispered in desperation, the nights you couldn't sleep, none of it has gone unnoticed. Not a single sigh is wasted. God gathers every one of them and promises to use them for something good. You might be wondering if you're still worthy of His love. Maybe you've made mistakes that haunt you. Maybe you feel ashamed of choices, overwhelmed by failures, or trapped in cycles you don't know how to escape. But here's the truth that breaks through every lie: God never stopped loving you. Not even once. His love isn't a reward for your success. It's a rescue for your soul. He doesn't wait for you to fix yourself. He comes into your brokenness and begins the healing there. When you're tired of pretending to be okay, when your heart is begging for rest, He offers something more than comfort. He offers transformation. You don't need to impress Him. You only need to be honest with Him. Tell Him your fears. Bring Him your guilt. Lay your pain at His feet. He's not afraid of your truth. He wants to meet you in it. Because He knows that in those raw places, real healing can begin. Type 222 if you believe God is preparing a breakthrough for you right now. What if wealth was never about luck, but a hidden brain signal buried in CIA files? This frequency is opening doors, attracting opportunities, and changing lives quickly. Thousands are already using it to attract wealth like never before. Click the link in the description and comments now and activate the money-attracting brain wave today. Let go of the idea that you have to earn His favor. Let go of the pressure to have all the answers. Let go of the guilt that keeps you from lifting your eyes. His grace was never about your ability to hold it all together. It was always about His love for you when you couldn't. Grace doesn't ask for your perfection. It invites your presence. It calls you to come just as you are, wounded, tired, confused, hopeful, and it wraps you in peace that surpasses understanding. You may feel like your story has taken a wrong turn. But God doesn't throw away stories, He rewrites them. He takes the chapters you want to tear out and turns them into the very pages where His glory shines brightest. Don't let regret keep you from receiving what He's offering now. You don't have to live trapped by what happened yesterday. Today is new. And His mercies are new with it. There is power in surrender. Not the kind that gives up, but the kind that gives over. The kind that says, God, I can't do this without you. That's not weakness. That's wisdom. Because when you put your life in His hands, everything changes. The fear that once controlled you begins to loosen its grip. The shame that once silenced you starts to lose its voice. And the emptiness that once weighed you down begins to be filled with peace, love, and purpose. It's okay to not know what comes next. You don't have to map out every step. You just have to trust the one who goes before you. The one who sees the future and still says, I've got this. And I've got you. He's not just watching your life unfold, He's actively shaping it. Guiding it. Holding it. You're not a burden to Him. You're a beloved child. And every detail of your life matters to Him. In the moments when your prayers feel unanswered, remember this: silence doesn't mean absence. God may be quiet, but He is never still. He's working in ways you cannot see, preparing things you haven't imagined, and protecting you from things you don't even know about. His love covers what your understanding can't. You don't need all the details. You just need to know He is good. And He is for you. If you've been waiting on a sign, this is it. Not because of these words, but because God's Spirit is whispering to your heart right now. That stirring you feel? That warmth in your chest? That peace you can't explain? That's Him. Reminding you that you're not forgotten. That you're still chosen. That even if others have walked away, He never will. So breathe again. Hope again. Pray again. Dream again. Because the story isn't finished, and the author is faithful. He's not rushing you. He's walking with you. You don't need to have it all figured out, you just need to stay close to Him. He'll lead you. He'll hold you. He'll remind you that His love is enough, and that you are enough because He is with you. This moment you're in now, no matter how confusing or heavy it may feel, is still covered by that same plan. God hasn't changed His mind about you. Not because of your fears, not because of your mistakes, not because of anything you've done or failed to do. He chose you then, and He chooses you now, with the same deep, unshakable love. Type 1111 if you believe God's love has never left your side. You may feel like you've been walking through the fire for too long, wondering when relief will come, wondering if the struggle will ever end. But even in the fire, God is standing beside you. He isn't waiting for you to get to the other side before He helps you. He's in the middle of it all, making sure you are not consumed by the flames. You may feel weak, but His strength is becoming perfect in your weakness. You may feel surrounded by pressure, but heaven is surrounding you with favor. You may feel overlooked, but heaven never misses your name. When no one else claps for your small steps forward, God celebrates you. He knows how hard it is to keep showing up with a tired soul. He sees the quiet courage it takes to keep loving when your heart has been broken, to keep giving when you're running on empty, to keep believing when answers are nowhere to be found. He honors every small act of faith, even when you don't feel strong. Especially then. There's a sacred kind of beauty in being broken before God. It's not the end of the story, it's the beginning of something new. In His hands, brokenness becomes a gateway for healing, pain becomes a doorway for peace, and weakness becomes the space where His power shows up the most. When you let Him in, not just into the good parts, but into the shattered places too, that's when transformation begins. Not all at once. Not with loud noise or flashing signs. But gently, faithfully, and always with love. The world will always have a list of reasons to tell you you're not enough. Too damaged. Too late. Too far gone. But God sees beyond all that. He sees the story He's still writing, the future He's still shaping, the promise He still intends to fulfill. Where others see a mess, He sees a miracle in the making. Where others see broken, He sees beautiful. You are not defined by your past. You are not trapped by your struggle. You are being rewritten by grace. Type yes if you believe God is not finished with your story yet. Sometimes you walk through seasons where it feels like everyone else is being blessed but you. You see doors opening for others, prayers being answered, breakthroughs happening all around, and you begin to wonder if God forgot your name. But the truth is, just because He's quiet doesn't mean He's ignoring you. Just because you haven't seen it yet doesn't mean it's not on the way. He's never late. He's never absent. He's working in ways that can't be seen yet, preparing something greater than what you even asked for. A 7-second at-home ritual, scientifically proven by neuroscience labs and hidden for decades in CIA files, is now public, and people are seeing money flow into their lives. Scientists say it activates a brain pathway linked to abundance. Click the link in the comments below before this knowledge disappears again. There is no competition in His love. There is no comparison in His purpose. Your blessing will not look like anyone else's because it was never meant to. What He has for you is yours. It's personal. It's intentional. And it's coming in the time that aligns with your growth, your healing, and your calling. You don't have to chase after what God has already planned for you. Just stay close to Him. Stay faithful. Stay hopeful. The right door will open, and when it does, you won't have to force it, it will be yours with peace. You are not empty. You are not behind. You are being built. God is building a strength in you that no storm can shake. He's developing a faith in you that can't be broken by circumstances. He's watering seeds in you that are going to bloom at just the right time. Don't rush the process. Don't let impatience plant fear where faith was meant to grow. Trust that what He's doing in you is worth the wait. You may not have felt like praising lately. You may have been too tired to even whisper a prayer. That's okay. God doesn't ask you to be perfect, He just asks you to come. Come as you are. Come with your doubts, your fears, your weariness, and your hope that barely flickers. He'll meet you right there. He always has. You've never walked a single step of your journey alone, even when you felt like you did. His hand has been guiding, His heart has been listening, and His love has never let go. In the stillness of your most quiet moments, He is speaking. In the chaos of your most confusing days, He is holding you. In the silence of your waiting, He is working. You can rest knowing that the one who holds the universe in place is also holding your life together. Not one detail is missed. Not one tear has gone unseen. Not one prayer has been ignored. He is not a distant God. He is not watching from above with indifference. He is here, now, wrapping you in grace, surrounding you with peace, and reminding you that you still belong. You are still loved. You are still part of a divine story unfolding with purpose, beauty, and destiny. So lift your head. Let hope rise again. Let yourself breathe deeply, knowing that nothing is wasted, and everything is being used for something greater. Your pain has purpose. Your waiting has weight. And your faith, even if it feels small, is moving mountains in ways you can't yet see. Even if the ground beneath you feels unsteady, His promises do not tremble. You are still anchored in grace. You are still surrounded by mercy. And no matter how uncertain life feels, your identity in Him remains unchanged. You are His child. You are covered. You are held. Type Amen if you believe God is holding your life with His mighty hand. You don't have to be brave all the time. You don't need to carry the world on your shoulders. You don't have to keep pretending that you're okay when your heart is aching inside. God sees what no one else sees. He sees the nights you cry without saying a word. He sees the moments when you smile, just to keep others from worrying. He sees the questions you don't dare ask out loud. And in all of it, He's not disappointed in you. He's drawing near to you. He's gently whispering, "You don't have to do this alone. Let me walk with you." You were not made to be strong without Him. You were made to be strong through Him. That strength you've been searching for? It doesn't come from pushing yourself harder. It comes from resting in the truth that God is with you, for you, and working through you, even in your weakness. Even when you feel like you've got nothing left to give, He fills your heart with courage, one breath at a time. You don't need to be perfect to be used by Him. You just need to be willing to trust that He's enough for both of you. Sometimes life brings seasons that don't make sense, times when your prayers feel unanswered, when people you counted on suddenly walk away, when doors you prayed would open remain tightly shut. But even in those seasons, God is still writing your story. He is still guiding your steps. What feels like a delay is often protection. What seems like an ending might just be a new beginning you haven't seen yet. His plans for you are not small. They are not fragile. They are powerful, intentional, and filled with purpose that nothing on this earth can cancel. You might feel like you've made too many mistakes to be used by Him. Maybe there's a part of your past you don't talk about. Maybe there are chapters you'd rather forget. But God doesn't disqualify you based on your history. He redeems it. He restores what's been broken. He uses what was meant to harm you and turns it into something beautiful. The parts of your life that you thought disqualified you, those are often the very parts He uses to reach others, to bring hope, and to show that His grace truly knows no limits. Type 555 if you trust that His plan is greater than your mistakes. You are not who the world says you are. You are who God says you are. And He calls you chosen, loved, forgiven, seen, and never forsaken. He doesn't change His mind about you based on your circumstances or struggles. His love isn't fragile. It doesn't depend on your performance. It is rooted in who He is, not in what you do. And because of that, you can live in freedom. Freedom from fear. Freedom from shame. Freedom from the pressure to be everything to everyone. You are already everything to Him. A classified 7-second morning ritual, once buried in CIA files, is quietly transforming financial lives. In under 30 seconds, it helps shift the mind from scarcity to wealth, with many reporting surprise income and peace. Click the link in the comments below before the page is removed. Even when the storm is raging and nothing makes sense, there is peace in His presence. Not a peace that promises everything will be perfect, but a peace that promises He will be with you through it all. When your heart is overwhelmed, He becomes your refuge. When your path feels unclear, He becomes your light. When you feel broken, He becomes your healer. When you feel alone, He becomes your closest friend. He is not a distant God. He is near, closer than your next breath. You don't have to wait until you feel strong to come to Him. Come in your weakness. Come in your fear. Come in your weariness. He welcomes you as you are, not as who you think you're supposed to be. And in His presence, healing begins. He won't rush you. He won't pressure you. He'll simply love you, hold you, and gently guide you toward the future He has prepared. A future filled with hope. A future rooted in grace. No storm lasts forever. No night lasts without morning. And no struggle is wasted in the hands of God. He sees what you're facing, and He's already gone ahead of you. He's making a way where there seems to be none. He's preparing miracles in silence. You might not feel it yet, but something is shifting. Your prayers have not been ignored. Your tears have not gone unnoticed. Heaven is responding, even now. Don't give up. Don't let the weight of this moment make you forget the promises that are still alive over your life. What God spoke over you is still true. What He planned for you is still unfolding. And what He started in you, He will finish. He is not finished with your story. He is not done healing your heart. He is not done opening the right doors. He is not done showing you that His love is the most powerful force in the universe, and it's yours, fully and freely. So even if you're tired, hold on. Even if you don't understand, keep trusting. Even if everything feels uncertain, keep your eyes on the one who is certain. He's not asking you to have all the answers. He's simply asking you to stay close, to believe that He is good, and to remember that nothing can separate you from His love. There are moments when life feels too heavy to carry. You smile to keep others from asking questions. You keep busy to avoid the quiet that feels too loud. But even in those moments, when you feel like you're barely holding yourself together, God is gently holding every part of you that's falling apart. He knows what you haven't said. He knows the dreams you buried and the prayers you stopped praying because the waiting hurt too much. But He hasn't forgotten a single word. Not one sigh has been missed by Him. Not one tear has gone unseen. He isn't waiting for you to fix it all before He shows up. He comes right into the middle of your mess, your confusion, your sadness. And He stays. Not for a moment, but for the long haul. His love is not afraid of your darkness. It shines brightest there. It's not turned off by your flaws. It covers them. It doesn't retreat when you feel ashamed. It draws nearer. That's who He is. He is the God who sits with you in the low places, who walks with you when your steps are shaky, who fights for you when your strength is gone. You may be holding on by a thread, but that thread is connected to heaven. It's connected to the one who cannot fail. Even when you feel like giving up, He hasn't given up on you. Even when you feel too tired to try again, He's already preparing strength for your tomorrow. Even when you feel unworthy, He's reminding you that nothing you've done has disqualified you from His love. He's still for you. He's still covering you. He's still calling your name, not with frustration, but with tenderness.